Be a bit more careful.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Only bandits creep around in the... Do you seriously think you can creep around here in the dark? And that won't be... You should have thought...
Oh well, what can...
You
I feel quite hungry.
What is... What is it?
What was that?
I feel quite hungry.
Hey! Hey!
Are you serious? Jesus, look where you're going.
What the hell? There's the man.
Good work.
Thank you, sir.
I'd tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing.
Whatever you command.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking...
Me?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Burner to beat it out of him, but then I told myself that if...
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will give you the key.
Very well, sir.
Hey, watch it! I'll remember you.
What the hell? Hey!
Bit of extra coin never hurts. Hey, look out!
Christ be praised.
I need the key to Jezek's cell.
So Sir Radzig let him have his way in the end. He should have let me...
If I were you, I wouldn't question Sir Radzig's order.
Just try not to mess it up. Here's the...
Thanks. Can you teach me how to do...
Certainly.
I'm interested in more about...
Wouldn't you rather learn the...
Well... I have some...
Let's see. Quite a collection. My boy, you're God's own avenging angel.
I'd like to improve...
Certainly.
I'm interested in more...
All right, but it'll cost... Now, pay close attention.
Be a bit more careful.
Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
You brought me here. Consider it an honor.
If hanging around in a damp dungeon with a condemned man is your idea of honor...
You're not seeing the bright side. You can be the one who uncovers a conspiracy against the king for your master. You don't get... It did cross my mind, though, that it might be nice to get some assurances for my cooperation. After all, I'm the one the Margrave unjustly declared the scourge of the... They even pulled my beautiful castle down. It was the necessity of making a living that forced me...
Do you really want to question the authority of the Margrave?
I've always been loyal to the crown, but what can I do when the Margrave...
That's not why we're here. I don't care about your conflict with the Margrave. It's your crimes against the king I'm worried about. The king you say you've always been so loyal to.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructed.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who are you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out a foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it, too.
This Eric, you reckon...
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced. And after what's happened, I doubt he'll be...
How did you come to hear of all this?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago. And they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed...
Old friends?
Just a couple of brigands. We used to ambush the Margrave's messengers and...
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man in my position finds himself...
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop.
This highly placed person at the monastery.
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the...
I see.
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials, too, but he backed out. Eric...
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about...
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
That'll do me for the moment.
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Radzig? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being...
I'll have to think about it. I don't want to annoy Sir...
good day to you.
Can we do something about the prop?
Why not?
Are we agreed?
I'd almost shake on that. Aye, that would do it.
I feel quite hungry.
What?
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
So what have you learned?
All sorts of things.
There's some foreigner called Eric behind the counterfeiting ring, and someone highly placed at the monastery.
The monastery?
That's what Jezek claimed.
So it's worse than I thought. If this is true, we'll have to proceed with...
Why? Can't we just go to the monastery to investigate?
No. If the church is truly involved, I have no authority.
So what will you do?
I'll have to think about it. It won't be an easy nut to crack. I'll have to consult with Hanush. And what if this...
I don't know, but he's recruiting armed men in Sasau and forming an army.
Damn! So it looks like Pribyslavitz was...
It most certainly wasn't, sir. And what's more, Sir Jezek...
You should return to Sasau and take a closer look at those recruiters. If they're going to attack, we must find out sooner than last.
It might not be as straightforward as that. Sir Jezek didn't know them and has no...
You'll have to manage somehow, my lad. Don't tell me there's an armed force amassing here and nobody knows anything.
Then ask around the alehouses and inns, or at the Rathaus. Someone must have heard something. These things... Whatever you do, be careful, Henry. And best not mention my name. It would attract unwelcome... What we want is for the crimps to take you for just another village lad they can lure...
All right, sir. I'll try to blend in as...
I know I'm asking a lot of you. But I know of no one else who could...
Sir, there's one more thing. Sir Jezek went with me without resistance, because I promised him he could come to an agreement with you.
My boy, my boy. You make promises in my name? That could turn out very badly for both of us. But, if it can prevent bloodshed, why the hell not? We may well come to some... But I can't say yet what will become of him.
As you command, sir.
Good day to you.
I've got a few questions for you, Bailiff, if you don't mind. Have you been having some...
And what business is it of yours? Did someone complain?
No one complained, though I'd be interested to know why you think they might. It was Lord Radzig who sent me.
Begging your pardon, but what the devil does Sir Radzig care about it? And I keep hearing the same from Sir Sebastian.
Sir Sebastian?
Sebastian Baron von Berg. He's here under monastery...
Why should he care about the city? That's not his jurisdiction.
Quite true. I'm in charge of this city, but he keeps telling me I've got cutthroats hiding around here.
You have an inn, and the horse trails cross here. There must be many travellers come seeking work, and not all of them honest men.
Aye, it's true. Bedlam has broken out once or twice.
Has there been anything like that lately?
No. It's been quiet here lately. I don't recall coming across anyone here like that.
Nobody looking for soldiering work? Maybe as a...
There's always one or two like that. But if they don't...
I heard some recruiters are meeting in Sasau. Seemed likely they...
Do you think that people here complain and I don't do my job? Nothing of the sort. Old Lederman's the only one that comes complaining.
And what does this Lederman complain?
Lederman is our local tanner. Lives by the quarry, which is where...
They go there to fight and that doesn't bother you?
Why would it bother me? Much better to brawl there than in the tavern. At least in the quarry they can't damage anything but each other. And my cat...
Have you heard any talk of strangers in the town? Maybe people acting oddly?
Nothing worth mentioning. Sure, there's been some talk about the miller. Folks saying they've been seeing him...
I'll try asking him if he's heard anything.
He lives on the other side of the river, by the bogs. But don't go getting your hopes up.
Thank you, Bailiff.
I could do with a bite to eat. Can we do something about the...
Well, we...
Satisfied?
I'd almost shake on that. Or... Finally, a reason...
God be with you, good sir.
Have you noticed anything suspicious lately?
And what's your idea of suspicion?
Have you heard of anyone looking to hire some rough men?
Mercenaries, you mean?
Yes.
There were some fellows conspiring here in the corner twice a week, and others coming and going. They didn't look entirely respectable.
And what happened to them?
I don't know, they just stopped coming. And I haven't seen hide nor...
You haven't heard anything about where they went?
Where do you think they might be meeting now?
How should I know? I'm an honest innkeeper, not a man at arms.
Is there any way I'll...
Unquenchable thirst? They drank like fish. They were rough-looking too. Big-bearded and...
That's not much help. What did they do while they were waiting?
They drank. And they played dice. I do remember there were always dice.
You don't know where I might find some...
And why would you want them? You'll set tongue,
But they'd be the ones to know what reputable townsfolk don't.
I grant you that. Well, we don't have an executioner, just a knacker. But he's an odd fellow. Like any knacker, I suppose. And there's some strange tales about...
What can you tell me about the knacker?
Decent folk don't talk about him.
I was hoping you'd tell me a bit more than that.
Why should I care about him? He lives in a house by the...
What can you tell me about Simon?
There's not much to tell. He runs Katzig Mill, and some say thieves meet there at night. But isn't there gossip about every miller? I don't think he's a sinner. But only God knows for sure.
Anything else?
You might not find him at the mill. He's a busy man, always out and about making some deal or other. And he likes to throw dice, especially when he sees a fat purse hanging on a drunken belly.
Thank you for the help.
Not at all. But why...
Good health to you.
I've heard it's not quite as lively here.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Guess they're always making merry when there's a drink to...
That's not quite what I meant. I'd heard there were some stable boys staying here for a long while looking for work. But it...
True, but that's nothing new. No. The thing is, there's not many wagons coming through at all. Folk are afraid to travel far in case they get done in by...
So there are fewer travellers. And some of them must be...
I take anyone who turns up. They come one day and leave the next. Maybe with someone else. Pass...
He just vanished, without a...
Well, he said he lost all his silver to the miller. And he had to go and see him about something. Only he never...
Do you still have them?
Of course not. I sold them all a few days later when he didn't come back. The buyer's gone now too, before you ask. But there wasn't much there in any case. The seller didn't even...
I'm looking for some people you might know.
If they come here to drink, maybe. But I won't aid you in any
I've heard some rough men come here looking to recruit. Have they ever stopped?
There were some brawlers that used to fight behind the tavern, but they raised such a
I wasn't thinking about that lot.
Don't know about that. Every once in a while, a merchant will hire...
Do you happen to know where the brawlers you can...
I've not got the slightest inkling.
You haven't heard talk of...
Well, I have heard some things, but I can't say if they're true or not.
And who's the most frequent top...
Miller Simon. They say he's rich with coin, and it's not from the mill. But that's nonsense. Folk just don't know how much a meal costs.
Anyone else?
Aye, there's talk of the knacker giving people the evil eye, or them that's not in bailiff's good graces.
Thank you, innkeeper.
Not at all. Would you like...
Christ almighty, you reek!
I'd like to
Aye?
What about this?
I'd almost shake on that. All right, so? What the hell was that? Good to you.
Are you the local knacker?
I'm the local gravedigger. But if there aren't any...
Well, then you might know a lot of things that others don't.
I'm a decent man. Not always...
Anything fishy going on in the...
There certainly is. Candles are being stolen from the church, as brazen as...
Ah, but have you heard of anyone around here hiring adventurers and bandits?
How would I know that? Most people avoid talking to me. I don't even go to the tavern.
And what's been happening in Sasau lately?
Nothing interesting. Except maybe that bitch being slaughtered.
What? Who was she, a villager? I wouldn't call that nothing in...
No! I mean a dog bitch. It was a while back, but they called me the...
What happened?
The dog looked like she'd been hacked to bits. They were scared it was some demon. But as far as I...
Why on earth would anyone do that?
What do I know? Maybe he was snooping around where he shouldn't, and the bitch went for him. I hear there was some dog-bitten fellow being cared for at the monastery. Only they kept him there on account of a broken leg. Maybe that's the same one.
Thank you. I'll be going now.
Very well. Feel free to stop by any time. People shy away from me.
What part didn't you understand?
God be with you.
Tanner, I've heard all...
It's better now. I must have eaten...
No, I mean you've complained about some ruffians raising hell behind your house.
Aye, true enough. That lot's been a thorn in my side. And when I went to tell them to take it elsewhere, they nearly beat me to a pulp.
When are they there?
Nearly every evening. Every god-forsaken evening. Shouting and...
How many of them are there?
How would I know? They make as much noise as a herd of wild boar in rutting season.
And did they all attack you?
Aye. They knocked the stuffing right out of me.
And nobody does a thing about it?
I've been to the bailiff, but he couldn't give a rat's arse. There's no commotion under his window, so what does he care?
That's quite a bailiff you've got.
A scarecrow would keep better order.
If you want, I'll take care of them.
Well, you look like you could move mountains, but there are several of them and just one of you.
Perhaps we'll be able to settle things peacefully.
Maybe. They might think twice.
Perhaps I can reason with them. It doesn't have to come to...
Well, break a leg, lad. Or better yet, don't.